Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of the Train Station. As always, I am your host, A Train. If you don't know me by now you do. And today I come to you with another video. Fair warning, I'm gonna get kind of heated as I'm very passionate about this kind of stuff. Today I bring you instead of how the Grinch stole Christmas, it's February, so we're still kind of in the holiday spirit a little bit. It's how The Rock stole WrestleMania. Bear with me here, we'll get into all the details, but yeah. So instead of how the Grinch stole Christmas, it's how The Rock stole WrestleMania. Back last month, it was announced that Dwayne The Rock Johnson would join the board of WWE and the new ownership group TKO, which granted Dwayne Johnson the full trademark to his name, The Rock. And it also brings him on to be an executive. With that decision, he now has more power than the currently in charge of creative Triple H. For those of you that don't know, Vince McMahon is in a lot of scandals right now. He was forced to step down, or he claimed he retired, but basically he was forced to step down. Triple H came in, took over creative over the last year and a half or so, almost 2 years now in control of creative fully. And TKO backed him up on this, but now that The Rock has joined ownership of TKO as an executive, he has more power than Triple H. So when I get into reasonings, I fully believe that this had everything to do with Dwayne The Rock Johnson and his ego rather than Triple H. So we just had the Royal Rumble pay-per-view not long ago. For those of you that joined me on Twitch to live react to it, I appreciate it. It was a lot of fun. I was with my buddy Carpets and Dominic as well. And we live reacted to the Royal Rumble and had a good time. Well, Royal Rumble's come and gone. Cody Rhodes has won the Rumble back to back. And as you win the Royal Rumble, the rules state the Royal Rumble winner gets to pick his choice of which champion he wants to face in the main event of WrestleMania. Obviously, with the story going on between Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes winning the Rumble last year, going to WrestleMania, losing to Roman Reigns. This year, he wins it again. Okay, he's going to finish his story. He's going to get Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. We're going to get this horrendous title reign off of Roman Reigns. And we're going to go into the new wrestling season with a new champion, one of the biggest baby faces in the company, and Cody Rhodes. Even after Cody Rhodes wins the Royal Rumble, he's pointing at Roman Reigns. I want you. That title is mine. Give me Roman. Fast forward to last Friday. Cody, let me back up. Fast forward to the Monday after the Royal, back up to the Monday after the Royal Rumble, Monday Night Raw after the Rumble. Cody Rhodes is on Monday Night Raw. CM Punk announces that he got injured during the Royal Rumble and he will miss WrestleMania. Sucks for him. Looked like he was finally going to get his moment. Out comes Cody, Seth, saying, "Oh, who am I gonna pick? Am I gonna pick Seth? I really want Roman Reigns. Am I gonna pick Seth Rollins? Yada yada yada." Out comes Seth Rollins to vouch for him to face Cody Rhodes. He's like, "Hey, dude, look, I'm the working champion. Roman Reigns is never here. Blah blah blah. Pick me instead." But that's not why. That's not the story. We've seen them already. We've seen it 3 times. We don't want to see it a 4th time. Out comes to Friday Night SmackDown. Last Friday, most recently, I think it was the second, the third or the second or the first or the second of February, whatever. The 2nd of February, we go to SmackDown. Cody Rhodes comes out. Roman Reigns already in the ring. We think he's going to announce it. He's like, Roman, I do want you. We're like, yes, here it is, but not at WrestleMania. This guy, this guy who we have lined up for you knows you better than anybody, and it's like, oh no, don't. Boom! The Rock's music hits. Here comes The Rock, and they just stare down. Now, here's where the problem that I have comes in. The Rock has ownership of TKO. You mean to tell me, and I fully believe in wrestling, and you can disagree with me all you want for those watching. Everything in wrestling, there's a time and a place for everything in life in general, but especially in wrestling and a scripted television series, there is a time and a place for everything. Do I think The Rock and Roman deserves to main event at some point? Yes. Do people want the match? Absolutely. Is this the right time or the right place for it? The answer is no. So The Rock comes out, he stares down Roman Reigns. Cody Rhodes looks visibly upset. And now here's where I have the problem. Cody Rhodes is working on finishing a 2-year story that we've had to deal with. He came up short last year. He gets, he tears his pec. He has this redemption story. He wins the Rumble, has this redemption story. Comes up short against Roman Reigns. We knew it was only going to be a matter of time before Cody Rhodes got to finish his story. And when he won the Rumble this year, we were like, he's finally going to finish his story. Out comes The Rock. The Rock pretty much said, I'm going to face Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. Completely just bypassing Cody Rhodes, the Royal Rumble winner, and everything. And I'm not sure if this was a Triple H decision, which I don't think it was. I think it was The Rock flexing his ego, realizing, hey, I'm on the board. WWE is selling out every event. It's the biggest it's been since the Attitude Era, or arguably since the, arguably has been as big, if not, it won't be as big as it was in the Attitude Era, but it's selling out shows. It's doing really well, without me. Let me get my ego in check, instead of checking my ego. Let me get out my ego. Let me pull a Hulk Hogan, pull some strings, and be like, no, Cody Rhodes, your story is getting on the back burner. The Rock claims that this is going to be a story that's going to be fun and has been, long term. The long term story with the Bloodline has been going on for like 3 years, 4 years. It can wait a whole nother year. We don't need it right now. We need Cody Rhodes to finish his story, to get a champion that's going to be there consistently. The biggest issue I have with this is, 1, the timing, and 2, The Rock versus Roman Reigns sells itself and doesn't need to be for the title. Why are you coming in here disrupting the stories that we have going on so that you can be like, I want... And not only that, he's pitching to win the title. For what? Roman Reigns doesn't show up. You don't show up. So we're just going to continue to have the title of the guys who don't show up. CM Punk said it best. You're going to work hard all year. You're going to get your WrestleMania moment. And then all of a sudden, some part-timer who hasn't been around, or a bigger star who hasn't been around for a long time, is going to come in and take your spot. And that's exactly what we're witnessing. And now, if us, the fans, what we need to do is we need to Daniel Bryan the situation. For those of you that don't know what happened in that situation, something similar happened. Daniel Bryan was supposed to get the main event of WrestleMania. Batista comes back. Batista's put into the main event. And the fans pretty much hijacked the entire show. Or, not necessarily he was supposed to get it, but they hijacked every single show until they put Daniel Bryan in the main event. It turned into a triple threat, but he was put into the main event because of the fans. So us as fans, if we want Cody Rhodes to be in the main event, it's already trending. Like, when WWE uploaded their video of the confrontation between The Rock and Roman Reigns, it has been their most disliked video in WWE YouTube history. It has over 500,000 dislikes. 500,000 dislikes. Yes, don't get me wrong. People want The Rock and Roman Reigns. But now is not the time. Everybody wants to see Cody Rhodes finish his story. And this is nothing more than The Rock coming in, flexing his ego because the company is doing well without him, and he can't stand to see the company do well without him. So he has to come in and be like, no, the company's doing too good without me. Let me come back and make sure that my ego's inflated so that I can win the title at WrestleMania and forego and conclude any stories going on to make room for me. Why? Why can't you do it next year? The story sells itself next year. This year, let Cody Rhodes finish his story, win the title. Next year, WrestleMania 41, it sells itself. The Rock versus Roman Reigns. The Great One versus the Big Dog. Who's really the head of the table? Who's really the tribal chief? It sells itself next year with no title on the line. Why does the title need to be on the line? And why does The Rock need to interrupt the best story going on right now? Everybody loves that babyface looking for the redemption arc. And that's what they have going on with Cody Rhodes right now. You mean to tell me you're going to disrupt that entire thing because you have to inflate your ego because the business is doing so good right now. And because you're on the board, you got to pull a Hulk Hogan and pull a John Cena and start pulling some strings so that you can get what you want because you feel now is the best time. And if you claim that it's not you're a fan of long-term storytelling, which you claim to be, why are you interrupting the long-term story right now? The end goal is Cody Rhodes winning the WWE Universal Championship or the WWE Championship, whatever you want to call it nowadays. It's the one title his father never won. And that's been the story that he's been going with. I want Roman Reigns. I want Roman Reigns because he has the one title that has eluded my family. He came close last year. Solo Sikoa, cost him the match, this and that. So he's been building up this redemption arc for the entire year to get back at Roman. And then to win the Royal Rumble, which that's another thing I'm going to get into because The Rock pretty much just buried pretty much everything going on, and I'll explain in a minute. But to have Cody Rhodes' redemption arc conclude at WrestleMania was to make the most sense. We are finally going to get it to happen, and then The Rock comes in. And then not only that, when Roman Reigns responded to Seth Rollins, he pretty much downgraded the title, pretty much downgraded the title, blah, blah, blah. So The Rock coming in, interrupting the story, not only interrupts the story, you just made your second biggest pay-per-view of the year absolutely worthless. Because the winner of the Royal Rumble goes to face, the champ in the main event of your biggest pay-per-view of the year. So you just pretty much hurt the second biggest pay-per-view of your entire calendar year. You just pretty much buried the biggest babyface on your entire roster. And you pretty much just ruined great continuity. So continuity ruined, the second biggest pay-per-view outside of WrestleMania ruined, and the biggest babyface on the entire roster ruined because of your inflated ego. We have to fix this as fans. The number one thing trending on Twitter right now is hashtag WeWantCody. Every time WWE posts something, it's We Want Cody in the comments. Everything they post on Facebook has angry reacts to We Want Cody. Nothing that WWE can't get away with this. And we shouldn't allow them to. When NXT stand or whatever Vengeance Day or whatever pay-per-view they just had last night, when they were showing the WrestleMania previews, The Rock was getting booed. Like, you have just turned an iconic, legendary return, which it should have been, and now you are the most hated guy on the entire planet right now. You went from one of the most beloved legends to one of the most hated in the span of less than 24 hours. All because you showed up and ruined what is going on. As fans, we have to fix this. I don't care. Hijack the shows. They're going to be doing a WrestleMania press conference in later this month. Fans are allowed to attend. Hijack the show and protest it until Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns is a one-on-one match. Hijack the shows. Don't do the same thing you did with Daniel Bryan, but 10 times worse. Especially since social media is bigger now than it ever has been. WWE claims they're going to be listening to the fan reactions and they might swerve the ship. That's the only chance we have. So hijack the shows, hijack the press conferences, hijack the Twitter, the Facebook, Instagram, all of it. Hijack all of it. Hashtag WeWantCody. There's a time and a place for everything. This is not the time nor the place for The Rock versus Roman Reigns. Get it trending. Let's change this thing. Let's save WrestleMania. Period. Let's save WrestleMania. 3 words. Actually, 6 words. Let's save WrestleMania. We want Cody. There's your 6 words. The only thing that we need. We want Cody. Save WrestleMania. Simple. It's very, very simple. The fact that The Rock is doing this and that he pulled one, because Triple H knew what the long-term story was going to be, and that's why he had Cody go back-to-back on the Rumble wins. Because I very much thought that CM Punk and maybe the injury altered plans a little bit, but I ultimately thought CM Punk was going to win the Rumble, Cody Rhodes is going to win the Elimination Chamber, which would have brought him to Roman Reigns because CM Punk would have picked Seth Rollins. And then we still would have gotten the same result either way. But to have Cody Rhodes win the Royal Rumble for a second time, to go back-to-back, the first person to do it, I believe the first person to do it since Stone Cold Steve Austin, and then to completely push it aside for The Rock, and The Rock to completely push it aside for his own ego and agenda is absolutely ludicrous. Like, you buried your entire second biggest pay-per-view of the year. And I know I'm sounding repetitive, but it's absolutely ridiculous. So before I get out of here, I remind you, save WrestleMania. We want Cody. Get it trending. Hijack the shows, the interviews. I don't care. We want Cody. We want Cody. It's simple. You want us to be invested into the product. You have literally just made WrestleMania unwatchable. Because we were going to watch it for the fact of Cody Rhodes finally finishing his story. And the thing I liked about the potential of Rock and Roman without the title, Rock has a chance to win. Now, with Roman versus Rock, if it doesn't get changed, Roman's not losing. He's going to keep the title and continue this horrendous 4-year reign. Even if The Rock does win, what sense does it make? He shows up for the first time in like 5 years. for an actual match that's not some random SmackDown episode because, COVID's happening and he doesn't have movies to do. What sense does it make for The Rock to win the match? With the title. He's going to win the title and then what? Vacate it? Doesn't make any sense. The match right now is just bad timing, and that's why people don't like it. It's not the fact that people don't want Rock and Roman, because people have been asking for that match for 3 or 4 years. People have been asking for that match for a long time. The problem is the timing of it. And people understand, and people are invested in long-term storytelling. That's the whole point of watching a TV show, right? That'd be like watching your favorite TV show and the main character just quits in the middle of the season because, the side character comes back after a long hiatus and is like, no, I'm the main character now. You did everything you could to carry this company on your back for the last year and a half, 2 years. I'm coming back and now I'm the main character. It's like that. It's absolutely ridiculous. I hope we as fans can change it, and right now it's looking positive. As I said, WWE claims that they're going to monitor the reaction. And of course The Rock is going to get a positive reaction in Hicktown, Alabama. Like, come on, that's not a real wrestling town. It's Alabama. All they care about is football and kissing their cousin. Like, it's not an actual freaking thing. It's not a real wrestling town. If they were and with WrestleMania 40 being in Philly, if they don't change it, Philly is going to eat this match alive. They are going to be absolutely livid. Philly fans are some of the most absolutely ridiculous, ruthless fans out there. And then, of course, I have something for those people that want this. Why? What is wrong with you? Why are we fickle, and why are we not allowed to not like this? Why does everything this company does have to be such a positive light? Oh my God, Rock and Roman, it's so good. I've been waiting years for this. So is everybody else. But now is not the time. And the fact that you guys see nothing wrong with it, and you can't wait for this match, is everything wrong with this, is exactly what's wrong with the casual viewers. And even the casuals on Facebook, the Karens on Facebook, don't even want this. The problem with the people that see nothing wrong with this is they are just happy-go-lucky in everything that they do, and they never see a problem with it. They just go with the flow and enjoy it for what it is. Those aren't real fans. Those are the people that don't get invested into stuff like this and just want the big-time names and the big-time attractions. They don't actually care. For us fans that don't want this, actually care about the product and not just the product, but we are invested into the thing that we see on television. It's nothing more than a TV show, a weekly television show that we watch on a weekly basis, just like everybody else watches their favorite show. This is our favorite show, and we don't like what we're seeing. So us as fans have the unlike other shows that are written in advance, we have the ability to change things. So for those of you that like Rock and Roman, on social media, I'm blocking every single one of you. Because it makes no sense to do it right now. I don't know. I don't care how much you've been waiting for this match. Wait for it another year. We've been waiting for 2 years for Cody Rhodes to finish his story. It's the hottest story in the WWE right now, in wrestling period right now. And it's being hijacked by a 51-year-old part-timer who shows up whenever he feels like it. And suddenly, he feels like now is the time because he's on the board of directors and Vince McMahon's not there. So, I gotta do this because WrestleMania is slacking. He pretty much called out the entire roster saying the roster can't handle WrestleMania because we have a couple injuries, and with the whole scandals going on, Brock Lesnar's not going to be there. Vince McMahon is no longer there. So how do we get big names? I got to insert myself because you guys can't do it on your own, which is baloney. They have no problem selling out a WrestleMania. Even if there was no part-timers there or no celebrities they would still sell out WrestleMania. It is WrestleMania. It sells itself. You don't need big name. You don't need to throw your name in there. It is WrestleMania. It'll sell itself. Let Cody Rhodes finish his story. Anyways, rant over. I hope you guys agree with me and see how ridiculous this is. And so, one last time, I leave you with this. Save WrestleMania. We want Cody.